Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Foriam, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about the new competitive play mode that came out yesterday. It's something that a lot of people have been waiting for, and in my opinion it's awesome. But there are also a lot of frustrations coming with this new update, because so many people are jumping into competitive mode not really knowing what they exactly have to pick in order to win the game. Most of them are just focusing on their favorite characters. For example, I'm a Genji player. I really love playing something like Genji or Pharah, get a lot of kills and think that the team will win with that, but that's not really the case. Most of the times you're gonna need a leader or a captain that will lead your entire team to victory. And I think with tanks that's the perfect thing to do. Because when I looked at my first matches at the PTR, I sweat my mindset all the way around. I only played tanks, both Zarya and Roadhog. Most of the times I played Roadhog in defense because I really like his hooks. He's self-sustained with all the heals. You don't really have to rely on any healers, but if your hooks are real and if you're doing nice damage, you can easily take down most of the enemy threats. For example, if the enemy has a Reinhardt pushing an attack, then you can easily take down the shield as well. So Roadhog is really awesome in defense if you are playing solo queue. But I was thinking about, maybe focus more on Zarya for both attack and defense, because in my opinion Zarya is really awesome for attack, for capturing points on King of the Hill or just attacking in general. I think she is way more interesting to play than Reinhardt, because every time when you make the right decisions, your team will decide to follow you and you can lead your team to victory by being a captain, let's say. You have such nice damage against turrets. Torbjorn and Bastion, they have no chance. They stand no chance against you, because every time when they start focusing you, you just pop your shield, the damage will go up and up and up, and you will just melt them down like crazy. So in my opinion, Zarya is really awesome for solo queue. I had 8 wins in the PTR and only 2 losses, which was really cool. And I also think that communication really is key. Every time when I used my Graviton Surge, people were there, they were using their ultimates as well, and we kept taking one point after the other, and I only saw victory, victory, victory popping up on my screen, and I thought like, maybe I should actually make a video for this, because this is really interesting for most of the people that really like to grow in ranks. Now, why Zarya? Well guys, not only because Zarya is a really nice character that can counter defense heroes like Torbjorn and Bastion, but also because she has such nice potential to engage. Every time when your Graviton Surge is ready, you just let your teammates know that your Graviton Surge is there, and when you throw the Dynasty, your team will go ham on that spot. And if you have a nice Graviton Surge bomb on that position, the enemy team is just dead. So if you're making the right decisions for your team will know they want to follow you, and every time when they follow you, you will end up with another victory. So that's why I'm continuing with Zarya all the time, and that's why I'm continuously winning these games. And it's very, very satisfying. You should try it out yourself as well. So this video I'm pretty much going to talk about Zarya, what you can do in order to carry your teams to victory and how. Because of course Zarya is a little bit harder to master compared to other heroes. Most of the people really like to pick Reinhardt or Bastion because they don't have a very high skill cap, let's say. With Reinhardt you just have to make sure your shield is positioned very nice, so your teammates can just stand behind it and slowly push towards the point where you want to capture. And with Winston, all you have to do is make sure the snipers are gone, squishy characters like Genji or Tracer are gone, and then you can just jump back to your teammates, get another heal, and then jump back into the battle, and just repeating that all over and over again until you are at the capture point. But in my opinion, Winston and Reinhardt are so easy to counter. I mean, like, if you play a Winston, sometimes you feel like you're getting shit on the entire match. For example, if the enemy team has a Bastion or when the enemy team has a Reaper, you pretty much have nothing to do against those heroes. Same counts for Reinhardt. If there is a good McCree in the enemy team or a good Genji, they will always get behind you and they will slowly finish you off, and you are just standing right there, being frustrated that your team is not really doing anything about it. But with Zarya, all you have to do is go to the front line, pop your shield at the right time, and when the enemy starts hitting your shield, you will deal shit tons of damage and you will survive it, because this character has such a nice shield. It has 200 points, so every time when your shield goes down, you can wait a little bit out of combat and it will get back up. Especially with the combination of a Lucio or a Mercy, it's almost impossible to kill a Zarya in my opinion. Of course, if your positioning is wrong, then you will most of the times die very quickly without even noticing what's going on. But if you know what you're doing with Zarya, most of the times it will be a victory. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips how to win with Zarya. The first thing is always communicate with your team. Let you guys know what you're up to. What do you want to engage? Do you want to stay? Do you want to get some heals? For example, I have a Razor Naga Epic. I'm in love with this mouse. I only have 3 keybinds on it right now, which is not really much, or well, 3 useful keybinds. The first one on my numlock 1 is my voice communication, so toggle voice. The second one is I need healing, and the third one is Gravitas Surge is ready. My 4th is my spray, and my 5th is my recording for shadow play, and my 7th is, I think, my flex or something like that. With Zarya I have an emote with a flex, and that's pretty much everything I need to have in order to let my teammates know what I want to do. For example, if they know when my Gravitas Surge is ready, I'm also going to let them know through voice communication. For example, guys, wait till your ultimates are ready. I'm not going to do anything until then. Just back off a little bit, or I'm gonna say like, okay, I'm going to walk behind the enemies and I'm going to throw my Dovnesty right there, and then it's time to jump on them. But of course, you also really want to check your teammates' ultimates, the status, if they have it up or not. It's very easy. All you have to do is press tab, or well, for me it's tab. Then you can see the heroes on the screen. You can see who is dead, who is not dead, who has ultimate and who hasn't. But if you check that regularly, every time, you will know exactly when you want to pop your Gravitas Surge. This is very important because Gravitas Surge, in my opinion, is the strongest ultimate out there. And if you pull those right,
yeah, I think we won.
Then you can just capture 1 point after the other, and you will see the victories, man. They will start rolling in, and there won't be a stopping about them. Another thing I really like to talk about is Zarya's ults, because this is something that most people really seem to screw up sometimes when they're playing Zarya. I do think though that Zarya has a very high skill cap compared to other tanks like Reinhardt and Winston, or Roadhog in my opinion is actually also pretty hard to play if you want to play him right on both attack and defense. But with Zarya, man, sometimes the shields can be very, very hard to pull off. In my opinion, it's always a go to shield a Tracer or a Genji or a McCree when they are going to engage with something. Also with a Pharah, for example, if she is about to use rockets from or death from above, then you just pop your shield on her, and then she is going to be immune for most things. For example, when I play Roadhog, I really love to hook Pharahs out of the air and just give him a shot in the head and they fall dead. But if you actually shield a Pharah that's flying in the air using a rocket barrage, then it's going to be impossible for the enemies to hook her or stun her or snipe her down when you pop a shield on her very quickly. And another thing that's really cool, for example, with Genji, when you have your Gravitas Surge ready, you pop your Gravitas Surge, you see Genji going in with Dragon Blade, you just throw your shield on him, and he is going to start making sushi of the entire enemy team. Even though he's taking a lot of damage, your damage or your energy will go up and up and up, and you can actually take over his role by not really only tanking but also dealing damage to the entire enemy team that is being caught by the Gravitas Surge, because your damage is insane when your shield is taking a lot of damage, which is really nice. I think that Zarya is one of my top damage characters. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm almost always on fire. I'm actually dealing a lot more damage compared to heroes when I play Pharah or a Genji or a McCree. Of course, with a soldier, it's not really hard to get damage, so most of the times I get beaten by a soldier with damage output. But with Zarya, it's so much fun to deal damage. You don't really feel like a tank at all, so that's also one of the reasons why you should try play Zarya in competitive modes. I just mentioned that Zarya has a lot of damage, and that is correct, but only if you are timing your shields right, because all the damage is coming from those barriers. Most of the times people will be like, okay, screw that Zarya, we're gonna focus down those Genjis or Tracers first, and then we're gonna take care of that Russian man woman. But in my opinion, that's a bad decision, because sometimes I do get such high amounts of energy, and then I do wreck the entire enemy team, which is really awesome. Sometimes you don't really see yourself dealing a lot of damage because the energy is low, but you don't really have to worry about that, because you are not a damage dealer after all. You are the guy that actually wants to lead the damage dealers to the enemies, and then Oh wow, I'm saying damage dealers. I hate this word actually. Offensive characters, you want to lead those offensive characters to the front line, you want to shield them and let them do the job. But of course, if you want to have some fun for yourself as well, of course, go for it. But you definitely have to know your limits with Zarya because she has a very high skill cap and sometimes it can be very hard to see whenever you can win a match versus another person or lose. Sometimes it can be very, very hard to calculate, but in my opinion, if you are going for the damage with Zarya, definitely make sure you're spamming that right click because left mouse is not very interesting only for very close targets. For example, a Bastion that is focusing you. You can easily take him down with that, but the splash damage of those right click AoE bombs is way more interesting in my opinion. Cool thing as well is that she has some really awesome skins. So guys, I don't know exactly what you guys think about Zarya. Do you ever want to play that woman or not? I'm not exactly sure, but that was the same that happened to me. I actually hated that woman, but when I bought my first legendary skin for her, I started to love her. It's the same with Sonya from Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, she is also a very ugly man-woman barbarian creature or wretch. But when I bought my first skin for that Heroes of the Storm character, it actually became my favorite. And I think the same is starting to happen with Zarya as well. I made Genji for almost the entire PTR. I played like over 100 hours with this guy and I think he was really cool to play, but I think right now it's time for me to realize that there are way more potential for your entire team if you take something like Zarya or Roadhog. I don't know, for me Zarya works really awesome. You can of course go for a Reinhardt or a Winston. Anyways, you want to take something that can lead your team to victory, and I think Zarya is the best character to do that because you can make those crazy decisions, you won't die, you will deal a lot of damage, you can put some really nice Graviton Surge or Dafnesty bombs on the ground while other tanky characters don't really have those really crazy ultimates, let's say. So guys, that being said, definitely check out this man-woman because she is a shit ton of fun to play. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, man-woman, but I still think she is a big pink buff Justin Bieber, but yeah, I don't know, man. She is so much fun to play. Definitely check it out. And yeah, of course, if you have any questions, definitely make sure you leave them in the comments down below. And also, if this video was useful, hit that like button because it helps me out a lot. I really appreciate that. Also, if you want to check out more guides about Overwatch or some montages or parodies, you can check out my channel because there is a lot more waiting for you right there. I've got health pack location guides, choke point location guides, how you can backdoor on different maps like Hanamura and Gibraltar or Volskaya Industries even. But I think that's it for today. I already took a lot of your time, and yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you another time. 4am out.